This
organization
conference will now be recorded.
in the organization related transactions. So this will help the organization to maintain all the activities that are performed throughout the organization. It can be the internal environment related or activities. It can be external environment related activities. All will be maintained through ERP, that is enterprise resource planning. So as I will give you the whole name. Say the organization, I'm taking an example as Dell here. Okay, so now onwards, whenever we are assuming a client or an organization which has implemented ERP or implemented Oracle, so that we are taking that example as Dell. Okay. So now what is Oracle? As we have multiple ERP products in the market, one of the ERP product is Oracle. So Oracle actually has multiple versions, which has started with 11i, and there were next version is R12. Now we have R13, which can also be called as Fusion Cloud versions. So these are three versions that we have in Oracle. So as I said, Oracle is a product, ERP product. So ERP is the product and Oracle is the company. Same like we have SAP. SAP we also have ERP product, and we have PeopleSoft. We have JD Edward. So like this. So now we are trying to understand what is Oracle product, Oracle ERP product, and in that Oracle ERP, what is that we are going to learn is financials. What exactly the financial is. So how this ERP will help the organization. When I'm saying the organization is Dell, okay? So how ERP is helping Dell organization to maintain its day-to-day activities or to track its day-to-day related transactions or whatever the data that is storing in the database, like how the data is storing in the database, everything I would like to share here. Okay. So now we have covered the versions, and now we need to understand what is Oracle ERP is doing. Okay. So now let me give you an example. So I'm having the Dell as an example. Dell is our client. So how exactly the data is entered in the system, and what see, when I'm saying the Dell is client and it is using ERP, Oracle ERP, which means Oracle Financial Functional Application. Okay. So when I'm saying that, that means the system is we are using is Oracle. So how we are entering the data? We are entering the data to a database. Okay, this is the database. This is where the data is getting stored. So what is the data that needs to be getting stored? Okay, I have Dell. Our Dell will be having suppliers. Dell will be having supplier related supplier invoices. Then payments. Then against the supplier invoices, then we'll be having customer invoices, then receipts, then there will be banks, there will be employee related data. All this data, so this is just an example, like what exactly that ERP is going to do, that I'm just giving an example. Okay, so we have forms or pages. Okay, this is we consider this as a front end. From here we enter supplier related data, supplier invoices, payments, customer details, customer invoices, receipts, banks, employee and asset related data. Okay, so all these data that we will be sending to a database. How we are entering all this data into the database is through the forms or pages that we have in the front end, that we call it as a front end. Okay, our user interface. So supplier information will be entered into database. All the supplier related invoices, payments, customer related details. Is database. Database is what? Where the data that is entered through the UI is stored, right? So somewhere the data needs to be stored, right? So how the data will be stored? The data will be stored in the form of tables. So when you enter supplier related data, the supplier related data will be sent to the database and it is stored in the form of tables, supplier tables. Okay, supplier tables. Same way, supplier invoice tables, payments tables, customer tables. So there will be particular table that is related to a particular activity that happened, and that will be stored in the form of tables in the database. Okay. So what happens once the data is stored in the database? So whenever it needs to be retrieved, for example, the client, which means I mean to say Dell wants to see what are the suppliers that they have, or what are the open invoices. When I say open invoices, listen. So when I'm using certain words, you please keep in mind, and you please just listen to those words and just remember. And later I can give you a explanation for each and every word. Okay. So there will be candidates here who doesn't have any prior knowledge on Oracle. So I can see that there are people, but I need introduction. Like I just want to understand like what is the level of experience that you have. So I am assuming that all of you are with of any you do not have any kind of background, any kind of experience. I consider everyone as a fresher. Okay, in that I am keeping that in mind and I'm taking the class. So whenever you find some naming as like you cannot understand, you just remember it and you can ask me, and I can give you an explanation. And in going further classes, you definitely can understand like what is that. Okay. And in the class, I definitely has to use the naming convention that the Oracle is using, so that you will get used to those naming conventions. And in when you go to a job, when you go when you work real time, then that would be easy for you to understand or to perform whatever tasks that are related on your work. Fine. Okay. So where are we? We have the data that is stored in the database. Okay. So whenever a client want to see whatever the payments that has done against the supplier invoices, or what are the invoices that are entered in the system, or what are the invoices that are not paid yet, or we call it as open invoices. Okay, these they want to see, like that can be seen in the form of reports. So basically, the whole purpose of implementing any ERP to any organization is to store the data, to store any kind of asset related or employee related or supplier related data into the database, and to retrieve the same data through in the form of reports whenever it is required. Fine. So I just take a pause here. If you have any doubts, you please ask me. And please let me know if I'm going a bit fast.
Clear for now.
Okay. So yeah. So before going into enter into the further classes, like I just want to understand what is the experience, or what does everyone does, and what is our expectation and all. Can I have an introduction? Okay. First, let me give my introduction first. So my name is Jhansi. Actually, I'm a real-time employee. I have been working since 8 years in the IT. So I've worked on multiple implementation projects. So I have experience in R12 version, 11i version, and now right now I'm working on Fusion Cloud version. So this is my experience, and can I expect some uh, introduction from your side, please?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hi
Hi,
Jansi.
Jansi. This is Venu.
Hi, Vinny.
Yeah, I'm working as a finance manager in HSBC. I do not have any experience regard to Oracle Fusion. So
Okay,
actually, I want to learn this Oracle Fusion, which is recently introduced in my organization. So I want to
okay.
understand end to end. Actually, in my organization, they are using as an end user, like what you are saying, like uh,
Hmm.
punching the invoices and processing the payments. But I want to know further how the system works behind this thing. That's the reason
Okay,
I joined the class.
okay. You want to understand in a consultant perspective. Now you are working as
Yeah.
an end user, right? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. To know. Thank you.
Hi
So,
Jansi,
Hi,
this is
Jansi.
Kishore.
hi, Kishore.
I have like 7 years of experience in IT field, but it's not relevant to finance side. So I'm a fresher for this, and I need to learn
Okay,
from crash. That's it.
okay, okay, okay.
I used
That's
to
that's
work as a system admin.
okay.
Totally, I want to change the domain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Understand. Thank you.
Hi, Jansi. This is Mohammad Yusuf.
Hi, Yusuf.
Total, I have 8 years of experience. When I was started my career in Genpact and Oracle R2 as an end user. So currently
Okay.
working in Dbol Nextoff as in cash management profile. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to change and completely move into the consultant side. That's
So
why I joined this
Diebold,
course.
it is which is the application right now they are using?
Sorry, it's a cash management
Which
profile. I'm looking at it as an end user.
End user, yeah. Oracle application, like which one? Are
No,
they
it's in
just
a it's no, it's not related to Oracle. It's completely forecasting tool, gas cycling
oh,
optimizer, CCO.
oh, okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Jansi, Merlin here.
Hi, Madeline.
So I'm having experience in healthcare, not relevant to this domain. So I wanted to change complete domain. So
Okay.
I don't know anything about this. So this is the first. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. It's good to know that, from a different domain you are coming to financials. So I
Yeah,
can help you. Like I can help you understand how exactly that, we can able to understand and whether it is easy for, a person with who is having a different domain knowledge and whether is that easy for them to understand
yeah.
or I will help you to understand. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jansi. Thank
Hi, Jansi. Swapna here. I have experience in cash applications into accounts receivables, and I use an end user. I have an
you.
experience in 11i R12 and Oracle NetSuite. So as an end user, we have an
Hmm.
experience, and now I wanted to move as a consultant. So because of that, I have chosen this.
That's great. Thanks.
Hi, Jansi.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Shweta here.
Hi,
Yeah,
Shweta.
I have 3.2 years of experience in mortgage. I just want to change my domain, so I choose this. And I
Uh-huh.
have
Oh,
completed my MBA. Yeah,
okay.
I'm 2020 passed out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good, Shweta. Yeah. Whom do we have here?
Hello, ma'am. Good
Hi,
morning. This is
Jansi.
Upender.
Uh, Kavita, let Upender go first.
Hi, ma'am. Very good morning. This is Upender.
Hi.
I have worked as an accounts executive in one of the healthcare firm with an 1.3 years experience. Completely, I would be handling the accounts part, but I like this course. It is interesting, so I like to move for this course.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kavita, please. Kavita, please.
Hi, Jansi. Jansi, this is Kavita. I'm working in domain currently, so I have to change my domain.
Okay. So which domain you said? Your voice was breaking.
Healthcare. Currently, I'm
Healthcare.
working for healthcare domain.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi Jansi, it's me Prasanna, and
Oh,
yes, I worked with Cognizant in healthcare, and
okay.
recently, last year I joined in global data in Salesforce operations.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, from that Salesforce, I would like to change my domain. I
Okay.
actually work with, consultant roles and responsibilities. I'm too fresh into this domain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would
Yeah,
like
and
to. And you are presenting also very cool and it's good.
yeah. So if I want to go ahead and I want to share my complete knowledge with you. So if I want to do it properly, I just want your cooperation because I want to understand like not what level my whatever I'm conveying is reaching you. So that's what my whole intention in this introduction and all. So if I get familiar and you get familiar with me, so that it will be easy for us to. If you have any doubt, you can definitely ask me. If I'm still not able to tell you like what if I'm not able to give you the proper explanation for that, I still get back to you. Okay, I try my level best so that you people understand the application to whatever level the experience that you want to keep, right? So who is next?
Jansi, one question. Do we have any documents related to Fusion Financial?
See, documents means if you want to know, you can you can have the user guides and that level documentation that will be there. You can get it from, if you Google it, you can get it from Google as well. And I strongly suggest to take a notes, like, whatever the functionality that I'll be sharing, or whatever the explanation I'm giving. So kindly take the notes, like whenever it is explained, so that whenever you want to refer, you can easily refer through, or you can, like, with all navigations, you please take the notes. If I'm going to some instance, if I'm going to some navigation, if I'm going to some form, and what are the fields I'm entering, and what are the fields, what are the options I'm using, what are the buttons that I'm pressing, so that you please take every notes, so that it will be easy for you to refer. And if you want more details at, at a definition level and all, you can definitely Google it. There is no particular document or something that we can have on whole process. It's like user guides or implementation guides.
Yeah. Thank you, Jansi.
Yeah. So do we have anyone else?
My name is
Hi,
Jagdish.
hi, ma'am. This is Deepika.
Yeah, hi Deepika.
I have experience in accounts background in Tally package, which is not related to software.
Mm-hmm.
I want to change my career in software side, so I
Mm-hmm.
have choose this one, which is
Okay.
related to my subject.
So how many years of experience do you have, Deepika?
I have 5 years experience in Tally package.
Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, Jagdish, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepika.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like I have experience in teaching. Like last 7 years, I have been in teaching. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
stay in my stream. So
Okay.
to finance. Yeah. Right now, I'm
Okay.
pursuing CA also.
Okay. Great. This is
Yeah.
definitely, a good time to switch. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, is there anyone else in the group? Okay. So now I want to tell, like, how the job opportunities are there in the market for Fusion. Okay, Cloud Fusion. I mean to say Oracle Cloud Fusion Financials mainly, and whether a person without any background of accounting, or without any background of ERP or any IT experience, can they able to perceive this, can they able to understand the Oracle? If you ask this question, it is a big yes, because Oracle is, it's like, if you take financials, it is not required that you need to have a accounting knowledge. Okay, if you have accounting knowledge, yes, it is an added advantage, that I can tell you. But if you do not have any accounting knowledge, but still you can understand the end-to-end process. For example, if I say P2P process, P2P process is something which a layman can understand, like what you purchase, and what for what you are like, against how you are entering the invoice against the purchased items, and how you are making the payment. This is all we are performing in the system. And coming to accounting part, this is all automized. Okay, we just want to understand, we could just want to learn at what level, what how the accounting is getting created. And we are not creating any accounting, and we are not, manually creating any accounting. It is all automated. So you need not to worry if you do not have any kind of financial background. If you have financial background, and it is definitely an added advantage for you. So this is all I want to tell. Coming to job opportunities, so now if job portal, okay, so there you can easily find n number of jobs in the market for Fusion Cloud, Oracle Fusion Cloud, especially for functional people and financial functional. There are many opportunities we have in the market. You place a resume today, from tomorrow onwards you get a number of calls. So this I can assure. Any questions here?
I
Ma'am,
have a
like you
question.
mentioned, some
Yeah, please, one by
Sorry,
one.
like you mentioned, we will find the jobs in some portal or something. I missed that. What is it?
I'm just asking you to search, like if you want to understand, I know if you want to see like, what are the jobs that there, how, what is the, frequency, like can someone, yeah. So what is a what is job opportunities? How many, like what is the demand for financial functional consultants, Oracle financial functional consultants, especially for Fusion Cloud? If you want to check, you can go and search in the job portal. That is what I want to say.
Yeah, okay.
Jansi, like as we have into different domain of experience in these years, and now with this training, we'll be able to get the job opportunities. Do we have to do a certifications, or having this knowledge would be sufficient?
See, certifications is a completely, different topic, because if you want to get a job, you need to have the knowledge. And certification is a requirement from our clients actually. You need not to have a certification to get the job, but when you are in an organization itself will ask you to do the certification, and they'll provide you the vouchers and all. That time you can go for the certification. So that
So,
certification is completely a different thing.
okay, so with the current experience, what we have into different domain, and we can move as a consultant, so that will not be any issue until we have a proper knowledge on fusions. Correct?
That's what I'm saying. Like first you want to learn the application. So what you like, what is the purpose that you are in the training today? It is learning the application, right? Just keep, just listen with open minds. Okay. So if you hear a word called, invoice, if you hear a word called open invoice, if you hear a word called if I give you a word called security console or setup or something, like, you just sit with open mind and, listen whatever I'm saying, and you will definitely understand how you relate it to a real time thing. Okay.
So
So you,
terminology is more important here.
yes, terminology is more important. If you hear a new word to you, you don't get, confused, or you won't get, hesitated. You just definitely ask me like, what is this? And I am using these words so that you will get used to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jansi.
Okay. So can we continue, or do we have any doubts in the session?
Yes, I have one thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
so currently working in as a cash management profile. Earlier I worked in general ledger side, accounting,
Okay.
would say end user in R12.
Mm. Yeah.
So the FCCM is completely different, right? So because I'm currently working in forecasting this side, budgeting, planning. So that
Okay.
is different, right? So just I'm asking for curiosity.
So different from, I didn't get the question completely. Different from.
So this is completely consultant side. As I gone through 2 3 months back as a couple of interviews. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of companies asking about the general ledger or accounting journal entries, they are covering the setups and
Mm-hmm.
4Cs, these all things. So
Okay.
it's maybe this will be useful for some other persons as well. No, just my question is, forecasting, budgeting, that is complete different, right?
So
To
you
compare to this consultant side.
Yeah, to answer your question, so whatever the knowledge that you have is completely a end user perspective. Means, like, once the application is developed and well configured and given to end user will use the application, so that whatever the reports or whatever transactions that you want to do, whatever the activities you want to perform, you will perform in the application level, right? So when you call a consultant, he will configure the application. Now you already have, if a consultant is having an end user knowledge, okay, now whenever you are saying forecasting, budgeting, if a consultant is having end user knowledge, then definitely a added advantage. And now you are learning how you are, configuring the application so that the end user can use the application. You're getting.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's the reason the interviewer asked me related to complete like
Yeah.
configuration, related to 4Cs, setups, and PPR, PRP,
Yes.
P2P, these all things.
So you will easily understand, like, you can relate it when I say a PPR. Okay, when I say a PPP, payment process profile. Look, when I use these words, you can easily relate. Like, as you are already performed the task, as you are already processed the payments and all, you can easily relate to that, so that will be easy for you, right?
Okay,
So
got it.
this that
Yeah,
also, and you will easily understand, and
yeah.
so it is definitely added advantage for you,
Okay,
right?
got it. Yeah.
So yeah, so let me continue with the session now. Okay.
One thing last. Sorry for disturbing again.
No, no
So,
issues.
is this intercompany will covered, or it's not related? It's not necessary.
Intercompany, actually, see, basically we will be covering all financial modules, like main financial modules, like
Yeah, yeah,
APR, GL, FACM. We'll see, like, if time permits, we'll try to cover, like, first thing is we need to understand the basic application,
yeah, yeah. Sure.
right? Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay. So now let's get into what exactly the Oracle offers. Oracle Financial Functional is out financial functional. See, when you call Oracle Fusion Financial Functional, Oracle Financial Functional, okay, please uh, understand these three are not completely different, but they convert different meaning. Okay. So whenever you see, you are a consultant. Okay. Oracle Financial Functional Consultant is the main job that we perform. Right. So if you are a consultant and you're working as implementer or supporter for Oracle products, Oracle ERP for the financial modules, you'll be considered as a consultant, and that can be considered as Oracle Financial Function. And when it is clearly called out to Cloud Fusion Financial Functional or Fusion Financial Functional, that I'll tell you. So as I said, we have multiple versions, right? So if you we had 11i version, which is not currently supported by Oracle. Okay. Now we have R12 version. We had R12 version. Now no implementations are happening on R12. Only support is happening. Okay. And now we have the R13 Fusion or Cloud version. Okay. So previously, when it was R12 or 11i, people used to call it as Oracle Financial Functional Consultant. Okay. Now, what is Fusion? Cloud Fusion. Okay. See, in this, these two are related to R13 version. R13 or Fusion version. Okay. So when it comes to R13 version, we have SAS and PAS models. SAS, PAS and IaaS models. Okay. What is a SaaS model? SaaS model is software as a service. PaaS is platform as a service. Give me a second, I am getting a call. Sorry for that. Okay. We have PaaS model, okay, platform as a service, and we have IaaS model, infrastructure service. Okay. So these two are related to Fusion versions. Cloud Fusion. Okay. And this is Fusion. Why it is different and what it exactly I'll tell you. Okay. So what is SaaS? Software as a service. So Oracle has provided us the Oracle application, Oracle Fusion application, and it is given a standard application where any other customizations other than the report customization is allowed. See, when I'm saying a customization, I can give you a brief. I can give you a detailed explanation about why a customization is required and what is a customization in our further classes. So what I want to say is here SaaS model is something where the application or a software has been provided by the Oracle and it is as is we need to use. There is no customizations are allowed. Okay, no customizations. And here PaaS model. PaaS model is they'll provide Oracle will provide the standard Oracle application and customizations are allowed. And we have this infrastructure as a service. So in these two cases, in these two options, how the database is being maintained is at the cloud level, I mean online level. So the Oracle will maintain the database of the client and they will give the subscription for whatever the period that they want and for whatever the offerings they want. They'll give the subscription and complete the database will be handled and maintained by Oracle. And when it comes to infrastructure as a service model, so in this it is on premise, means the database will be handled in the organization itself. So the whatever the client will handle the database. So this is the main difference between these three models. So why we call Fusion Cloud Fusion Financial Functional and why we call Fusion Financial Functional? Okay. So mostly almost 99% of the clients will use SaaS model, which means will be when we are implementing SaaS model will be Oracle Cloud Financial Fusion functional. Okay, when we are implementing PaaS model, only hardly 1% will use PaaS model, because even Oracle also promoting only the SaaS model. Will be considered as Oracle Fusion Financial Function, right? So is the difference clear for you? Okay, I'll take it as is.
Yes.
Nancy, here you say like Cloud Fusion will be SaaS, right? But as we are for Fusion Finance, so does SaaS covers. And also, can you please little elaborate on IAS?
Okay. See, cloud will be SaaS and PaaS both. IaaS is, for example, my company is Dell. Okay. So in SaaS and PaaS model, what happens? So Dell is having multiple branches. I can say Mumbai branch, Chennai branch, and Hyderabad branch. Okay. So there will be 3 databases are required. Okay. For Dell, if they have 3 branches. Okay. In SaaS or PaaS model, all the 3 databases will be handled by Oracle. Okay. Understand? In infrastructure as a IaaS model, what happens? They in-house, I mean in on-premise, they maintain the database, and it will be, they need to maintain it. They need to have a DBA team, and they need to have all the infrastructure that is required for maintaining the database. That will be handled by Dell itself. So for that, it will be additional cost for them. It will be very, it is not economic friendly, like if they want to implement Oracle with the on-premise database. So they want a DBA team be handled, and they want all the infrastructure for maintaining the database. So it becomes a very costly for them. So because it is, as it is a fusion model, the database maintenance is very, very costly, and it cannot be maintained that easily. So that's the reason Oracle has given this option, where that will the database will be completely online and cloud service. It's also called as cloud computing, where no database team involvement is required. The whole database will be handled by Oracle, and if any database related, corrections or errors or patches that are required, that will be handled by Oracle itself when we write the SR. So that I'll tell you in further classes. Is the difference clear?
Yeah, and what about the customization and how that
Okay.
would be differ?
Okay. If I give an example as Facebook as an application, okay, or WhatsApp as an application which you are using day to day, okay. If you take a WhatsApp, so you have a WhatsApp that is installed in your system, in your local mobile, okay, in your mobile, okay. So whatever the features that WhatsApp has provided to you, you are using all those features. If you want other requirement, okay, if you want any other requirement, or as per your convenience, you cannot make the changes in the WhatsApp. Okay, it is a SaaS model you consider. In the case of PaaS model, it is like the WhatsApp will give you the opportunity or the feasibility to customize any of the functionality or making a call. Okay, making a video call, or sending any messages, like whatever, if you require any additional requirement, if you need any additional features, though the WhatsApp will provide you that feasibility to customize as per your requirement. So who will do this customization is the functional people will understand the requirement and convey, like, and give the instructions to the technical people to do the customization. Understand? That is called PaaS model. If you are using the standard functionality, a standard product, that is a SaaS model.
Can we say in this, like, as we have one module where we have a database with few limited access, like employee ID and employee name, and two other fields, city and location. And in PaaS, if any client is asking for additional fields, so there we can have a customization. Can we say take it in that way?
See, these are all, if you say, you are clubbing two different things. Okay. So you are saying access one side, the access will be given as per the rules. It is not as per the customization. Okay. If you want the access, they based on your role, the access will be provided. If you have a manager role or a employee role or a user role or a consultant role, as per your role, the access will be provided. That is one thing. Okay. Now coming to other thing, what is a customization? Okay. So you have a form. Okay. Now you have a invoice workbench. Okay. For example, invoice workbench you take. Okay. Here you want a new field added. Yeah. As you said, and adding a new field into the system, into the workbench, is a customization. Okay. There are two different types of customizations again. You have, if I give you more details, that will be it will be like more information for others who cannot have you who do not have an previous knowledge. But please ignore if you can't understand anything. But remember the words that I'm saying, like the words that I'm using. Okay. So if you have the fields that already provided by the Oracle, where if any additional field is required, that can be used. And other than that, if they want any additional fields or any additional requirement, they want a new pop-up apps to come, or they want a new icon to be added. They want a new button to be added to the workbench, and all these will come under a customization. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we understand like what is Oracle Fusion. Now we are learning the Oracle with a Cloud Fusion instance, and now mostly there are 99% clients who will be using like cloud only. So we will mostly consider as Oracle Cloud Fusion Financial Function. Okay. So this is about the Oracle application. And, now, so I want to say how exactly we can relate the Dell as an organization, and what are the departments does Dell will be having, and how the Oracle will facilitate to maintain its data when it uses Oracle as a application, ERP application. So Dell will be having multiple departments. Okay. So we'll be having payable department, payable sales department, will be having payment, receivables department, we having cash department, asset department. Okay. Now, it will be having purchasing department, sales department, customer relationship management department, human resource department, right? So there will be multiple departments that will be under Dell organization. Okay. So now how our Oracle application is going to facilitate or maintain the data that is related to these departments, like there will be multiple offerings that Oracle will provide. Okay, so now whatever these departments will come under financial offering. Okay, so under financial offerings we have account payables, we have account receivables, we have cash management, we have fixed assets. Okay, so this is under financial offering, and we have SCM offering or procurement, you can call it. SCM is supply chain management. Okay, so under this we have purchasing module, we call it as PO module. We have sales department, means order management, OM. Okay, this is supply chain offering, and we have CRM modules, we can consider as the CRM offering. We have HRM modules. Okay, so each functional area or offering will be having multiple options or multiple departments. Okay, so each department in an organization will be maintained by each option that we have or each module that we have in Oracle. Okay, so now along with these four departments or with these four modules, these four options, we also have general ledger, which is a mandatory module that you need to implement if you want to have all these other sub modules. Okay, so when you say Oracle financials, so mainly these are the 5 modules that we consider and will be having. Now we are going to learn these 5 modules, okay, and how these 5 modules are integrated. So in Oracle Fusion, the integration is inbuilt in these applications. Okay, if you have certain invoices entered in payables, so how the data needs to be moved to general ledger. Okay, if you have some invoices or receipts against the invoices that you have entered in receivables, that information needs to move to general ledger. Okay, the cash management, whatever the reconciliation happened, whether it is against the payments or receipts, those needs to be moved to general ledger. Fixed assets, whatever the assets created, the asset related entries or depreciation related entries, that needs to be moved to general ledger. So this is how the data is interrelated. Okay, and the data, these are cross functionals, you can consider. If financials and SCM will be cross functional. Financial is a different offering and SCM is a different offering. Okay, so there will be integration between this cross functional aspect. So once there will be a PO created, purchase order created in purchasing module, and that PO related information needs to be defaulted in our payables module. Okay, these are cross functional. And same likewise, if a sales order is created and those sales order related information needs to be defaulted in a receivable module, like that. Okay, so basically we'll be learning these 5 modules, how the data is flowing, how the first the configuration part, okay, then how you use the application for the transaction creation, and how you pull or retrieve the data using reports. Okay, so this is all the application is all about. You configure the application. Okay, you configure the application in the form of in your forms or pages, and how you are using the workbenches to use to create the transactions, and you finally use the reports to pull the details regarding the data that you entered into your database. Okay, so whatever the information that is shared today, okay, I'll share this sheet with you. You please go through. If you can refer, like you can easily you can remember the naming conventions that I have used in the sheet. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you please go ahead. If not, we will conclude the call for today. Any doubts, please?
From my side, I don't have anything.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be sharing this sheet, okay, within the group. So you please go through the sheet and you try to remember the words that we have used here. When I use the same words next time, you should be able to understand. If I'm saying purchasing module, PO, or you need to understand, like, yeah, it is under HCM, right? So likewise, if I'm saying general ledger, okay, the general ledger is something is under financial module. If I'm saying SaaS model or PaaS model, you need to understand, you need to remember, easily remember, like it is where software as a service or platform as a service and all these things. Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is nice talking to you, all. So thank you so much for joining. Bye, have a great day.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.